Hello and welcome back to a prospecting video. Today I am going to be covering the best equipment build for exotic items. Now I do have some proof about this and we'll be going over all the questions you might have on why this is the best build and how it works. So a lot of people on the game think luck is like the best equipment build you can do, but it isn't. The best equipment build is actually capacity. Because a couple of days ago, I had this theory because someone mentioned that luck doesn't mean anything on this game and it's all about how many items you clear in a pan. Meaning that capacity builds would be technically the best builds on the game. And then just a couple of days ago, I got this comment on one of my videos. It says, I met a moderator named Cookie in game and they told me how luck works in this game. So luck doesn't actually directly increase the odds of getting rare items, but instead it acts like a reroll. I don't know if it's a full pan rerolls or each individual material rerolls. So for this example, let's just assume it's an individual or reroll. So what he means by that is the luck is technically a reroll. So let's say I have 1,427 luck. That means each individual item has a luck of 1,427 luck. Not just a pan. So the way I tested this theory is each individual item gets its own luck. And the way to know that is, you know when there's like a mythic rift and you dig, you will notice that there's actually a tell in if you've got the mythic or not before actually emptying the pan. And that pretty much confirms that each individual item in your pan has its own luck. So let's say you get 50 to 60 items with 1,400 luck. Each item will have 1,400 luck. It's not pan luck. Like the full pan doesn't have its own luck. It's just every individual item. So if we now go back to the comment and carry on reading. If you get around 10 to 20 materials per pan with 1.1k luck, you'll get around 11,000 to 22,000 rerolls per pan. So that's pretty much 1,100 rerolls per item. Compared to if you get around 40 to 50 materials per pan with 900 luck, you'll get around 36 to 45k rerolls per pan. So what that statement there means that every item in your pan is gaining that luck. So let's say you have 20 items in a pan, you'll probably get around 20,000 luck. But if you have 40 items in your pan, you'll get 40,000 luck. Do you follow me? So to get the most chance on getting exotic or mythical items, or just rare items in general, it's better to use capacity. It's better to clear more items through capacity. So you're basically filtering more chances on getting rare items. Even though you do have less luck. Like, people always say luck means nothing in this game, and it actually doesn't. Like, obviously some luck is good on a capacity build, but even with the smallest amount of luck, you will get high chance at getting something rare. Now, if we go back to the comment, it says, from this example, we can see that more materials per pan actually gives you a better chance of getting rarer materials. That's basically what I just explained. So that's probably people with high capacity keeps getting rare stuff, while people with high luck keep getting nothing. And that comment sent me on a journey. And the journey consisted of working out if capacity is better. And with those theories I've just explained, higher capacity would technically be better. So if you're like a new player or mid-game player and you're getting like to the epic items, you want to try and find items with high capacity. Like the gravity coil gives you 140 capacity. And then you have Guiding Light 40 capacity. Then you have Mass Accumulator 60 capacity. And then when you move on to the mythical gear, this is where it gets a bit serious. So Celestial Rings gives you a 250 capacity. prismatic stars give you a 40 capacity per prismatic star. So if you have 8 of these, you would be gaining like 300 capacity to 400 capacity. But if you look at some of the luck items like Phoenix Wings, they give you a minus capacity. So luck items actually cripple your capacity. So the best ring you can actually use is called the Prismatic Star, which gives you a 40 capacity and shake speed and shake strength. Because shake speed and shake strength is very important as well with a high capacity build. Like if we just take a look at my build now, I use 4 prismatic stars and 4 mithril rings. I use the mithril rings for the speed because the dig speed and shake speed is 40% on each individual ring. And then I use the prismatic stars because of the capacity. So you could technically use 2 mythical rings and 6 prismatic stars, and you'll have more capacity, but you won't be filtering out the pan as fast. Now, if you are a free-to-play player, you could use 3 prismatic stars and 3 mythic rings, or you could use 4 prismatic stars and 2 mithril rings. But for the neck and the charm, I would definitely go with the fossilized crown and the Frosthorn pendant, because the Frosthorn pendant gives you 200 capacity and the fossilized crown gives you 225. Now there is a better neck capacity item called the Celestial Rings that gives you a capacity of 235. So the Frosthorn pendant is a little bit worse on capacity, but you do gain 400 luck compared to Celestial Rings that give you 100 luck. So the stats you're actually looking for when building a capacity build is dig strength, capacity, dig speed, and shake strength. The other stats don't actually matter. The other stats do come naturally with capacity builds though, because I do have a cell boost of 300%. Oh, and shake speed also matters as well, 341. And we also have a size boost of 270 and a modifier boost of 86. These are all natural. These are not meant to be high, but they are just because of the items I'm using. And then the shake speed, 340, the shake strength, 31, dig speed, 314, and capacity, 879. You can min-max the capacity by just using prismatic stars, but you will dig very slowly. That's why I suggest using like 4 prismatic stars, 4 mithril rings, or using 6 prismatic stars and 2 mithril rings because you would have more capacity. Now, you probably want to see this build in action, so we're just going to head down to the Frostbite River right here, and you will see what it's like without totems. So you dig pretty much in 2 hits. You fill the pan in 2 hits without a totem. So with a totem, I would be one-hitting this pan at 879 capacity. And then the shake speed without a totem is 1, 2, 3, like 3 seconds. And you shake away 900 sand. And on average, you get around 30 to 40 items. But you can get pans that give you like 20 or 60. But you'll rarely ever see pans that give you less than like 20 items with this build. Now, this build is the max of the max. Like, you could get away with using lesser capacity items, such as the Celestial Rings. And Apocalypse Bringer Rings could also be good because they do 20 dig strength and about 5 shake strength. So you could, honestly, have a full thing of Apocalypse Bringer Rings and then just focus on the neck and the charm for capacity. Now we're going to do a little comparing. I'm going to put on a full look build and we're going to compare the statistics. So if you want to min-max a look build, it would be Frosthorn Pendant, Phoenix Wings, and 8 solar rings, and that would be the best look possible. But I don't have 8 solar rings, so I can't show you that. So this is just my best look build I can create. So on the left hand side we have the look build, and the right hand side we have the capacity build. And you will notice the statistics in luck is not actually that different. Like, you probably lose like 200 luck. You do lose 20 dig strength. Capacity gets halved pretty much. The dig speed you lose about 100%. The shake strength you lose 1. The shake speed you lose about 140%. The cell boost goes down as well by about 90. The size boost goes down by about half, and the modifier boost goes down by 50%. So generally, a capacity build is just better. Like, the only statistic that's better in a luck build is the luck. And you're not even gaining that much luck. And that half capacity that you're losing just because it's a luck build is atrocious. So you're basically giving yourself less chance to get rare items with a luck build. Which doesn't make sense, but hopefully the facts in this video have kind of proved that it does. And I've also proved this theory from my last video. If you didn't see my last video, I managed to get 2 chirogenic exotic items. Now, I used one to craft at the start of the video, and then later in the video, I actually got one while digging for like 10 minutes. So I've managed to get 2 of the new exotic items with using the capacity build. Because the shake speed and the shake strength is actually very important as well, because that's how fast you empty the pan and fill the pan. So the stats you're looking for is dig strength, capacity, dig speed, shake strength, and shake speed. They are the 5 items you are looking for. Just ignore the luck, ignore the cell boost, ignore the size boost, and ignore the modifier boost, because they will come naturally with the build. And that is how you get exotic items easily. So if the luck part of the video was a bit confusing, where I brought up this comment right here, think about a dice. A dice that has as many sides as how much luck you have. And that is applied to each individual item. So each individual item will have 1,342 luck. So if you've got a pan of 40 items, you would have like 40,000 luck, with each one having 1,000 luck. But if you have, let's say, 3,000 luck, but you're only getting 10 items, you will only get like 30,000 luck. It's very confusing, and I'm hoping I done a good explaining of this. But that is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. I know this video was a lot of talking. I just needed to get that out there to the world, so people know that luck builds are not the best. So if you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like. And if you really enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, because I'm on the road to 11,000 subscribers. And I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Goodbye.